Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Real Rivalry. Imaad and Anchit are back to discuss the most recent fixtures of the Manchester United and Arsenal games. And this week we saw Manchester United go top of the table, and we saw Arsenal struggle to break into the top half of the table. So, as usual, we'll begin by talking about the Arsenal game. So, Arsenal against Crystal Palace, another boring game, a nil-nil draw. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, the boring aspect is just becoming the staple of Arteta's of all games at the Emirates under Arteta. I mean, we just cannot seem to break teams down. We just have we look like we're out of ideas in terms of how to break teams down when they sit back and they just defend. And I mean, to all Arsenal fans who thought that we didn't need to improve the squad because Emil Smith Rowe and a couple of changes like with the youngsters coming in, Emil Smith Rowe like and Saka just kind of stepping it up for those 3 games which we won in the league in a row. I mean, everyone thinks again that things are all rosy again at the Emirates, and we don't need to buy anyone, and it's just a complete joke because, I mean, teams know if you just nullify the threat of Emil Smith Rowe and Saka, and we didn't have Tierney, and you nullify those three, or those three are out of it, and Arsenal have nothing. Aubameyang and Lacazette again. You're just looking for your big name strikers to kind of step up and do something when nothing's going for you. And Lacazette didn't have a single shot. Like, I mean, as a striker, how do you finish? Like, how do you allow yourself to finish 90 minutes, or how like 60 minutes, 70 minutes, however long he played without having a single shot? I mean,
Do you think he's just lacking confidence? Like, why is he not shooting from outside the
no, I
box? Or
mean
do you
it's
think
it's
it's
not, he's
tactical?
not lacking confidence. He's not lacking confidence because he scored 4 goals in 3 games in the league like
Hmm.
in a row. So it's
Right.
not a confidence thing. I mean, there's absolutely no service to him at all. I mean, like I said, Smith Rowe was nullified, and we had nothing. Saka was kind of on the periphery of the game. He wasn't really too involved, and he was just was having one of those days. And Emil Smith Rowe was kind of just nullified in the middle of the park. I mean, he wasn't able to. He was closed down. He wasn't able to like receive the ball on the half turn and turn. I mean, it was so crowded in that midfield
Hmm.
area that he couldn't do anything. And I mean, when you're expecting, that was yesterday was the type of game when we needed to go wide, and we just didn't have. We
Any
missed
width.
Tierney badly, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles on the left just did not work at all. I mean, we
He's
got into
right-footed. He's
positions.
gonna cut in, right? He's right-footed. He's gonna
Yeah,
cut in.
and
Why didn't Saka play though? Like, he didn't start, right? Saka, or did he?
no, Saka started, but
He
I
started.
mean, I feel like he should have played Saka at left back,
Hmm.
and because we just needed a natural left-footed player in that position who could whip the ball in. Because right now, that's the only way we seem to be able to score is by putting in crosses. I mean, Arteta's favorite thing is to the left.
Hmm.
That's the only way we seem to be
To
able to
play.
score or create any kind of chances in games right now. So I felt like playing Maitland-Niles there was just
It didn't
ridiculous. I
work,
mean,
right? This is not a
just
good
did not
idea.
work. I mean, and Bellerin on the other side. I mean, oh my God, that guy! I don't know how he's a footballer, man. Like he is absolute
He's
garbage. Like
garbage. Yeah.
actually, he didn't do too badly defensively yesterday. He actually kept Zaha pretty quiet. So I mean, that was surprising. But when he had the ball, oh my goodness, like he just lacks so much confidence in his own ability that every time he gets the ball, he just sees the first person that who's open, and he just plays the pass to him.
Right.
I
So
mean,
what?
it's
Why is
always
he
just
not?
going inside.
He always. Why does he keep playing Bellerin? I know. I think he had a good game against Chelsea. Was it? He had one or two good games in the past 4 weeks. But like,
I mean, he
he,
can't cross a
it's
ball.
yeah, for 6 months he's been shit forever. So why does he keep playing him? Why not play Ainsley Maitland-Niles at right
I
back,
mean,
and why
yeah, I
not
mean,
play Saka
Maitland-Niles
at left
doesn't.
back?
I mean, yeah, Maitland-Niles doesn't exactly make a case. I mean, for himself when he comes in. I mean, defensively, he's always solid typically, but
Hmm.
going forward, he doesn't have that
Hmm.
delivery either. He doesn't have that. I mean, we have it in abundance. I mean, there's no balance like in the team. Like we have it on the left side in terms of Saka and Tierney, and on the
Tierney.
right, it's just completely out of order. And we have 3 right backs and 1 left back. So if Tierney gets injured, we basically have Ainsley Maitland-Niles filling in at left back. It's
Right.
ridiculous. I mean, so he's
But
our
you
backup right
shouldn't.
back and our backup left back.
See, but as a honestly, like I know in the modern game, fullbacks bring in a lot of creativity and are an important part of the attack. But a team like Arsenal shouldn't be relying on Tierney or whatever your fullbacks to create chances. What's happening in the middle of the park? Where are your creative players? What are the strikers doing to create chances for themselves? Like I don't see any of that happening anymore. Like when was the
Yeah, I
last
mean,
time you guys cut through a team and scored a goal, like which was typical of Arsenal to
yeah,
do?
yeah, that was against West Brom, which are probably the worst, one of the worst defenses in the league.
Right.
So that probably tells you everything you need to know. And I mean, it's like I said earlier, for all those Arsenal fans who thought like we have our Arsenal back, like after those three consecutive wins, I mean, it's just that was just absolutely ridiculous because I mean, everyone knew like there's so many deeper problems, and just a couple of youngsters coming in isn't going to change that. And I mean, I I want to slip. I mean, I wasn't one of those fans who just because we went on that winning streak who just said like, now I'm Arteta and I believe in the process again just because he's won 3 games on the bounce. I still was
Right.
skeptical about it. I mean, we beat. I mean, at the fact of the matter is, at home we have been absolutely terrible this season, and
Terrible.
and that's where you pick
Chelsea is
up
the
most of
only
your
decent
points. We
result. Yeah.
we can't seem to score, and I can guarantee you when we play Newcastle coming up in a couple of nights,
Who are
it's going to be the
awful.
exact same story. The story, I mean, they're going to park the bus, and we're going to have absolutely no idea in terms of how to break them down. We're going to keep playing it out wide and then cutting back in, and it's just going to be the same
Right.
story. It's going to
No.
be absolutely terrible, boring, woeful football, and I'm just
Right.
not looking forward to it, man. It's another 1:30 a.m. kickoff over here, and it's just like it just
Not worth it.
I
Right.
struggle to stay up for these fucking terrible games.
So tell me one thing, right? Like, is it so? We all know you're lacking a creative midfielder. You don't have a number 10. You're really lacking a creative midfielder. So, would you say how much is it down to the squad or the starting 11 itself being not good enough that you guys lack creativity in the middle of the park, or is it more just Arteta is not good enough?
I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, because if you think about it, like when you look back at when we got Arteta in, and we had like when we had Emery, for example, I still think that going forward we were never this
No way,
bland,
bro. This is
this
the
I
worst.
mean this
100%.
clueless. I mean, right, we just look completely tactically inept in terms of the way we play, in terms of the way we attack, in terms of the way we move the ball. There's just nothing, and you're seeing it week after week. So clearly, there's nothing being done in training about it. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and he didn't have. I mean, I feel like the personnel Arteta had to work with was in terms of now and when Emery was there was very similar. I mean, there's not. I mean, in fact,
I mean, you're slightly
you
better
could say
now.
that. Yeah, exactly. You could say it's slightly better now. And even under Emery, I mean, we always used to create a good amount of chances per game. It's not like we were playing boring football. We just couldn't defend. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with Arteta now, I mean, we seem like okay, we can potentially defend, but I mean that is kind of inconsistent as well. I mean, there's chopping and changing, and we do have much better defensive players now. Let's not forget that
Mm-hmm. Your
with
team's definitely
Gabriel and
better.
so. I mean, there's no excuses. I mean, we're underperforming, and I personally still don't have any faith that he's the guy to. I mean, if we're gonna go spend big in Jan or in the summer, which is not gonna happen in Jan, I don't
Mm.
trust. I mean, if we have 100 million to spend, I don't think that Arteta is the right man to give a
Man to
hundred
do
million
it.
to spend it on. I mean, he might buy the right players, but we're gonna lose Aubameyang's peak years of in him like trying to figure it out, and then maybe he gets sacked. And I mean, even Aubameyang is so out of form, and he still keeps playing him on the left. I think it's time to just keep him in the center now, and
Right. I just
too
don't
many
think
question
he's.
marks.
Yeah, and I don't think he's tactically good enough personally from what I've seen. I think it's easier to coach a team to defend properly, right? You put 11 men behind the ball. I think that's the easier part of the game in comparison. It's much harder
Definitely.
to coach a team to attack well, like what Pep Guardiola does or what Klopp has done, or what Poch did for some time at Tottenham and even his time in Southampton. Like his team was well versed going forward as well. And I think amateur coaches just starting out, like they're not going to be able to do that at a club like Arsenal. I just don't personally think Arteta is the right man. I don't think you guys are going to be going anywhere. But having said that, we felt the same way. I felt the same way about Oli a year ago when we lost to Burnley. I remember we were in dire straits, and then Bruno Fernandes came in, and everything changed. And like now, you can say we're happy that we kept him. So you never know; strange things can happen in football. But the
Yeah, I mean,
evidence.
if we sign like a world class player like Bruno Fernandez, I mean, who knows? Then it might be like
Hmm,
something that any coach would. I mean, would benefit from. I mean, because at the end of the day, like you do have, you are surrounded by other world class players at Arsenal. I mean, let's not kid ourselves.
Right, right, exactly.
So
So, what do you think? What are you expecting from this season? Like, if I was to ask you, I mean, not much to talk about the Arsenal Crystal Palace game in the sense it was a boring nil-nil draw. Yeah, Palace had some chances; they could have won it, honestly speaking. But it's typical. It's you can look at any Arsenal game this season. Most of them have gone how Arsenal Crystal Palace went. Toothless in attack. You guys are toothless in attack. The other team, if it's a small team, will just sit back and soak in the pressure, hit you on the break probably, and maybe nick a goal. But what are you expecting from the season going forward? Like, what would you call a success now? I think the league is pretty much done for you guys, right?
yeah, I mean, if I mean, it's funny if we would have won against Palace, we would have been like what, I think 4 points or 6 points of Tottenham or something crazy like that, which I mean, I would have
Hmm.
never imagined. So I mean, there's no real expectations, honestly. Like top four is completely gone. I think even
Hmm.
because I just don't see us going on another winning streak. I mean, there's gonna be too many slip ups. Every one game we win, I feel like there's gonna be a slip up. No expectations. I mean, hopefully just win the Europa League slash FA Cup. Just maybe get a trophy in, but in the
Hmm.
league,
A
it's
decent
dead.
cup run, maybe, right? Yeah, yeah. I think that's
Yeah, and
fair.
I mean, I think I feel like I mean I don't think it's gonna happen. So I mean I don't want to pray for Arteta to get sacked because I
Hmm.
mean if it's not like realistically gonna happen, which I don't think it will.
Anytime soon,
I
I
mean
think they
unless
seem to be
things go
backing
really
him.
bad, and I don't want to wish for things to go really bad.
Right, right, fair enough. I mean, you guys
So
had a good chance. You had Crystal Palace at home, Newcastle at home. After that, you could have
yeah,
that
we blew it.
any
We blew
any
it.
day that's 6 out of 6 points. You have to expect that both teams are doing badly. Newcastle are awful. They are absolutely atrocious. So you'd
Yeah,
expect
but we probably. I mean, if anything, it'll be a 1-0. If anything.
right, right, right. Anyway, so let's move on to the United game now. Let's talk about some exciting stuff here. So we went top of the table, and man, like that was a tough, tough game against Burnley. Nervy game. The decisions also went against us that match, and Burnley made it hard. Like they defended really well. They were very physical throughout the game, and we really had to fight to win that. We had a goal disallowed. Maguire's goal was definitely a it was a header and it was there was no foul there. Most of the pundits also agreed with that. I don't know what the referee was thinking. So and it's hard to score goals against Burnley. I think they have what the second best defense in the league after City, I believe. So for us to hang in there and just fight for that victory, we got a little bit of luck with Pogba's volley, and after that we defended really well. So top of the table. I mean, 3 points clear currently. I couldn't have asked for more. And I think a big part of that is Eric Bailly's return from injury in the past month or so, like at least not past month, but past 3 weeks, he's been back. And him and Maguire seem to be forming a much better partnership than Maguire and Lindelof. So they really complement each other. Bailly is fast. He goes into the tackle like Maguire, who's more of a who reads the game well. He's slower, he's good in the air, but he needs someone fast next to him who really is aggressive. And why is that aggressive player who's going to go for the tackles? And that has improved, seen our defense improve. I'm pretty sure if Maguire and Lindelof were playing, we would have conceded a goal against Burnley. And by his block, 93rd minute, I think it was against Aston Villa, we were 2-1 up. That was a world class block. He just straight away saved a goal for us. Um, Another positive there. Did you get a chance to see any of the goals of the games?
No, I didn't actually watch the United game. I mean, it seemed like it was going to be a tight game, and I mean, I have no interest in watching United games, honestly.
Right, I'm
No
sure,
point.
especially when we're this far ahead of you at the moment. But yeah, other than that, like I would say, really looking forward to the Liverpool game. That's going to be a big one for us. Liverpool away. They haven't dropped any points at
Yeah,
home.
that's
I
tomorrow
mean,
night, right? Yeah, that's
it's on
tomorrow.
Sunday night. Yeah,
Oh, Sunday night. Okay.
yeah, for India time, Sunday night. Yeah, and they haven't lost at home since 2017. It's the team with the best away form against the team with the best home form. Now that's going to be a
Yeah,
real
I think if you guys can leave Anfield with a point, that'll be like a great result and a huge statement if it can, because Liverpool will be going all guns blazing to win that game. They want to close
100%.
that gap, and they know that. I mean, they have to make go out there and make a statement and show that. I mean, they want to retain this title, and I mean, they're not going to want to lose it to
Yeah,
United. So
100%, 100%. So I think that's going to be the real test for us. And I think the question on everyone's lips, I think it's on your lips as well. I'm sure that do I, as a United fan who's been watching us play for many, many, many years, do I realistically think we can win the title? If I was to say, I would tell you that I think City are favorites. People are not talking about them, but their defensive record is absolutely incredible. And Sir Alex Ferguson famously has said many times that the defense is what wins titles, a good defense. And City,
yeah, that's
really
exactly what Liverpool had last year.
with Van Dijk, yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, in terms of the league title, I mean, United definitely don't have as strong a squad as Liverpool and City. I mean, Liverpool are a bit hit by injuries right now. So, but I mean, if
Right.
they get their once they get their players back, I mean, I think they will go on a winning streak. I mean,
Van
Klopp's
Dijk's
gonna
not
get
back.
them.
Van Dijk's not back till the end of season, I think. So at least
I mean, not
he's the
even Van
biggest
Dijk. I mean,
miss.
just generally, if they just if they can just get like a decent starting 11 in place, I think under Klopp they will go on a five,
Big
six, seven
runs.
game winning streak at some straight stage. And right now, I mean, that's do that right now in the league, and you're gonna climb up the table like crazy. And I mean, City also do. I mean, obviously, you saw how they dismantled United in the Carabao Cup. I mean,
Carabao Cup,
they
yeah.
are
I
they
mean,
are a better team.
we
So
did fight.
consistently, I mean, yeah,
We
I
did
think they
fight that.
will.
We did fight in that game, man. Like we did concede at the end of the day. What type of goals did we concede? They played really well. They were the better team. I don't think we played as well. Again, it was Lindelof and not by. So that was a disadvantage for us. But we conceded out of a set piece, and and then a goal I think on a counter attack. So anyway, like I think that we are City are favorites. Liverpool second. I would still put us on third. But if you look at our form in 2020, I know you don't win titles during a calendar year, but we were top of the table in 2020. Since Bruno Fernandes has come in, United have had more points than Liverpool and City as well.
Yeah, fair
So
enough. I mean, yeah, but I
if
mean,
we
I
can
think
maintain that form going forward, and unless City go on a 15, 10 game winning run, which they're capable of, both Liverpool and City are capable of, that we can't match, that we just can't match. But if they can
yeah,
continue to not be as good the way they've been this season, I think we have a serious chance, and we'll find out soon.
I
Liverpool's a
mean,
big acid test.
you guys are in it for sure, which is all you can ask for right now. You guys are definitely more than in it, but I just don't think that long term that you guys
We'll
will
sustain
manage
it,
to see
right?
it through. Yeah.
I hope you're wrong about that one. But anyway, so from my expectations from the season, honestly, if you asked me, like I would have told you at the start of the season, all I wanted was us to close the gap to Liverpool and City, and we've already done that. Like even from what I've seen, unless we go on a terrible run, we've already closed the gap. And hopefully we can pick up a trophy in the form of an FA Cup or the Europa League. That would be great, and I would call that a successful season, top four with a trophy. Anything less than that, I would not be happy with, given
Yeah,
our current stage.
we're more likely to win a trophy than you guys. So
Because of the FA, you're just likely to win the FA Cup, bro. Nothing else. That's the one trophy
yeah,
that
still a
Arsenal
trophy.
have their name on. Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. That's one trophy where you can't rule out Arsenal winning any year. So, anyways, I think that's pretty much all we have for today, right? So, we'll be back again next week to discuss this weekend's games. And come on, we got to beat Liverpool.